Hey everyone, this is Dan Charles with Light Forex. It is Wednesday, May 13th. I'm going to do a breakdown of the major Forex pairs, starting with Australian USD. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you like my accuracy week to week, and go to the link in the description below this video. Okay, let's get into it, starting with the Australian USD. Now I've been saying that we're very choppy on a lot of the Forex pairs. A lot of these major pairs are really choppy right now. Now the last time I looked at this, it was looking quite bullish, but I did talk about this resistance at 0.6557. You can see price went above it on the 11th and then down. But look at these trend lines. We're still holding these trend lines as of right now, but it is looking more bearish. We have this big gap from the moving average. We've been quite green for the weeks here. It really is due for a bigger pullback, but as long as we're holding these trend lines, this could still turn around. So I'm definitely leaning more to the downside. You know, you look at the 240 minute, you see how this is looking. Big drop down here at 10 o'clock my time. It's definitely setting up more bearish. You can see it putting in, at least for now, a lower high, but we're still holding this trend line right here. So it can still turn around and break out and break 65.5, but it is looking more bearish, just looking at all the time frames as of right now, at least. You can see on the 60, it's pulling up as we speak, but we're holding that low. So what I would want to see is we need to break more levels. 64.32. Then let's see if it can set up. You can see the lower highs in place. It's definitely looking more bearish, but because we've been so choppy on so many of these pairs, all you would need is one breakout tomorrow, just holding this trend line and a breakout like that. All you would need is something like that tomorrow, and everything would change. But as of right now, it's looking more bearish. So let's take a look at the futures contract. Okay, so the Australian futures contract is looking very bearish. It definitely looks like there's more downside. You can see the lower highs on the weekly. You see this big gap here from the moving average, which we've had for a few weeks now. Yeah, it clearly looks like we're going to go bearish. Definitely more by looking at this, but that trend line is still being held, and we really need to break below 64. 64 is going to be that critical price to hold. Okay, EURUSD. EURUSD is one that's been extremely choppy. Look at this. Choppy. Yesterday was looking bullish, holding. You can see it was just really threatening to come down on the 5th and 6th. Threatening to come down, bust through this 107.5 price, and then we would be pretty much going full bearish if it did that. Turns around, comes up. Today it comes up, hits a high, 108.97, putting in that resistance at 109. Very bearish candle, but I did draw on this trend line that's been holding. So this is a very bearish candle. There's no question. But because we've been so sideways on this one, it's really difficult for me to say that this is for sure going to be bearish. I mean, I can never say for sure, but it does look more bearish now, especially looking at the 240. If we blow up the 60, you can just see that resistance, strong resistance around 108.80. Dropping. Now we are hitting some support at 108.12, but we really need to start taking out these levels. 108 is obviously an important level of support. So let's see if it can hold and turn around, but if it breaks below 108, then you would need to close below 108. 107.50 is really the bottom of this channel. So let's see if it can break below that. Let's take a look at the Euro futures contract, see if we see something different. Well, same thing. It's very, very choppy. It definitely looks more bearish looking at the futures contract than the Euro USD. You look at the monthly chart. You see we're hitting support from last month at 107.740, hitting that same price in this month. The momentum is really to the downside on this one. You got to lean more bearish, but when we're this choppy, we really need for it to break either resistance up here or support down here. It does look more like it wants to go lower. So let's lean more on that side, but it's a choppy market. Okay, now pound was choppy. Pound was choppy, but the last couple days it's breaking through the bottom of that support. It broke through this trend line, broke through 1.2123, closing below that price yesterday, and now this is definitely setting up more bearish. I can definitely lean more bearish on the pound USD just by looking at that chart. If we look at the pound futures, I'm sure it's going to say something similar. You can just see closing below 1.23, and here we are. We're getting close to 1.22. We hit 1.2211, pulling up slightly. So 122 is now the support level. If that gets taken out, we're really going to come down on the pound. You can just see like the weekly, we were very, very choppy. We're finally breaking down. Finally breaking down. You got to lean more. I'm leaning more bearish on the pound USD going forward. New Zealand USD. Okay, New Zealand USD is another one that's been very, very choppy, but this is finally breaking down hard today as well. It was looking bullish when I made a video on the weekend. You can see we broke out, we pulled back. Now I did talk about this resistance, just like the Australian. It was hitting that resistance. Same type of thing has happened with the New Zealand. Of course, they correlate pretty good. Yeah, so now we're below this 0.6000 support level. So I have to be leaning more bearish on the New Zealand USD going forward. Let's take a look at the futures contract. Yeah, so we're really breaking down here on the futures, breaking below this trend line that we had in. Yeah, I'm gonna be bearish on the New Zealand USD. Okay, on to the USDCAD, another one. Look how choppy this is. Look how choppy this is. So in trading, the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend, and when it's choppy, there's no trend. So it's dangerous to take a position because we're just whipsawing back and forth. Now, when I saw the way the USD-CAD was looking yesterday, it was clearly looking more bullish for today, and it's still looking bullish. It's still looking bullish. So the high today, 1.4115, or below that price right now. You look at the 240 and it does look like we could be pulling back soon. It's a bearish candle. The monthly, the weekly. But until we break above the top of this channel, 1.42, you really need to be more neutral, because we tried this here. This looks very similar to the way this is looking, and look how that turned out. I'm definitely leaning more to the upside than the downside as of right now. You would have to be. Let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. Of course, it's going to be doing the exact opposite. So yeah, the Canadian dollar is doing the exact opposite. This is clearly looking more bearish. Clearly looking more bearish, but until until it breaks at the bottom of this channel, which is 70.5. Now 71 was a very important support level on the Canadian dollar. And that's right there, 71, and we are below that right now. So, but again, choppy, of course. It's going to be choppy. But I got to lean more bearish on the Canadian dollar and bullish on the USD CAD. But it's choppy, so be cautious. USD yen. Okay, now the USD yen had a nice breakout on Monday. Needed to pull back. Wasn't just going to open and keep going up. It's always going to pull back when you have a setup like this. Pulls back, hits the moving average today, and now it's setting up. So now this needs to break. We're above 107, just barely at 107.04. That's the support price. Now it needs to break. It busted through that resistance on the 11th. Now it needs to break out to continue this this upward momentum. Let's take a look at the yen futures. The yen futures, well, we're putting in higher lows, making higher highs as well. We are hitting this resistance though at 0.009375. Very choppy on this one as well. This one I can really make a case for either direction. I could make a case for this coming down or going up. So I'm going to maintain, I'm just going to be neutral on the USD yen. USD yen, it really did look more like it could break after hitting the moving average. It could still break out. I'm leaning more towards this breaking out after what it did today. But looking at the yen, I'm a little bit mixed. And that's normal. So that is the breakdown though for Wednesday, May 13th. I hope you found this educational. Please hit the like button if you like my videos. Check out the link in the description below this video, and have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching.